right now we are live. All right. Welcome everybody back to another edition of Chairgatin. I'm your host, Rattlesnake, coming at you live once again from the Snake Pit here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, joined by my co-host, Dakota. What up, Dakota?
What up, baby? Dakota Drake 4 coming to you live from south of Atlanta in the heartland of Georgia. We got our boy, alumni of the show, Mamba is back on. What's up, Mamba? What's going on?
What's up, fellas? How we doing?
We are doing, dude. We got everything Nashville. We got hot and rowdy. It was a hot one. It was a long one. Let's get the show going.
Let's do it. What's up? It's Chairgatin coming at you live.
Hello, come right in. Rock, flag, and eagle.
Oh, yeah, as always.
I gotta give it to you. That's pretty fire. I'm not
Dude,
gonna
that's
lie.
us, man.
That's
You
pretty
like
good.
that?
Yeah, no, that was pretty good. That was
Thank
pretty
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
We eventually got to run into a race, man. I feel like we're always, or like, I don't know, you're busy. It's hard to keep up.
Dude, no,
But, like,
I'm mad at you. I'm mad at you. So listen,
You should be.
yeah, no, Dakota. So Snake, were you in the 600 at the 600?
Yes.
I was.
I know
Okay.
where you're going with
Okay,
this.
so Dakota texts me and I'm like, yeah, I'll be there. And like he texts me like he DMs me like while I'm walking around with people. So instead of him getting off of whatever he was
Dude,
doing
it
to
was
come
too
up to me and
far.
be like, hey
It was
bro,
too far.
like he DMs me. By the time I see it, I'm like, well, it's too
No,
late.
literally. Let's back up from up.
Also, hold on. Let's just, lay some groundwork here. You work at races, right?
I mean, yeah.
to an
I mean,
extent.
Yeah, technically speaking. I'm
Okay. Okay.
Depends who asks.
It
I was
depends on the
literally-
weekend.
I was literally, we had a badass spot on our buddy's bus in turn 3 at Charlotte. And we were sitting there and like, we were kind of just chilling out. I think it was yellow flag or something. And I looked and I was like, oh, that guy's got cool shades. And I was like, oh, he's got a little hottie with him too. And I was like, is that fucking Mamba? And like, as you were walking by the bus, I was like, I couldn't see because there was like flags and stuff in the way. So I was waiting to look. I saw you turn like laughing, and it was like you, this baddie, and like another dude and shit.
By the way, look at the comment right there, Dakota.
Yeah, cool.
Hey,
cool.
always
You need
welcome.
to join us on the bus, dude.
It's a badass setup. Good
It's a
concept
sick
spot.
setup.
But I was like, literally, I was like, oh, fuck, it is Mamba. And I was like, by the time I get down and run and chase you down, I didn't want to look like a fangirl. I was like,
but I would have
"Oh,
came
man."
back and had more, and like we would have had
I
some
don't
beers
know.
or something.
I should have, but I was like, I didn't want to seem like a little bitch running and chase you down and being like, hey,
Whatever.
remember me?
Whatever, man. Bro, you're iconic. You won the mullet.
Yeah,
Yep.
yes.
competition.
That's
I'm
right.
glad you remember, dude. Hey, dude, you should have been there because that was so fucking fun. We showed up the mullet contest in Dega and just shut it down. Like there was dudes there with like, oh man, they have like really good mullets, but what they did not have was the entourage. And
Yeah.
there was probably like 50 people there in the crowd, and
Yeah, well,
30 of them were us.
I was gonna say we had like at least 30, so we were rolling deep. I mean, it really wasn't fair for anybody else, to be honest.
But it was fun.
There was some pretty sick mullets too, to be honest. I don't want to say anything, but like there might have been one or two better than yours.
Well,
Ooh.
that's not what matters because they didn't win. There was some
I know.
stout
That's
competition,
that's you're the champ.
and,
You're the champ.
we came and took them all, dude. It was so fun. But yeah, man, Mamba, what's been up, man? What you been up to? You have a whole new podcast we get to watch every week.
Yeah,
I
let's
figured
talk
this
about
was
that.
This is a good time to not debut it, but for the second time wear the Kevin Harvick Bush Light.
It's a good looking shirt.
It's
Yeah.
a good looking shirt. I think it's on for sale. So this is his late model.
That
so if
Harvick
you
guy's
don't know
pretty good. I think I've seen him race one.
I've heard
he's,
about him.
he's okay. He's pretty good in Cup. He's not as good in late models, but no. Kev's the man. We got Kevin Harvick's Happy Hour podcast. Myself, Caitlin, Vincey, and Kevin, obviously. And Caitlin really runs the show. Me and Kevin just talk shit the whole time. So
Yeah, I love
Yeah,
y'all
I've
banter
noticed
back
that.
and forth.
I've noticed that she definitely is like steering conversations.
oh, bro, the way that she's able to take something that Kevin said and then that was way off, like off the rails, like obviously no way, and then weave it back into the show.
Yeah,
like,
she's great.
If it wasn't for her on the show, me and Kevin would just be off in the weeds, like talking a bunch of shit, like, to be honest.
a
So,
great
but the
show,
show's been great. No, thank you. It's been fun. It's one of the top podcasts in NASCAR, I guess. One or two. We're fighting with Dale there for that top spot, so that's cool.
Ooh.
Dude, I don't
And,
know, man. I think Dirty Mo's been slipping lately.
Oh,
I think y'all are taking it.
They're just different now.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
Yeah,
a lot
right. Yep,
They're
different.
different. They're different. I think they've gone through, like, if you look at the Dale Jr. download and then the re-download,
Yeah, I don't know
like,
what's going on over there.
their stuff is changing as to what they're doing. And if you pay attention to it, like to the landscape, like Amazon's coming in. I think they just signed a deal with Sirius for a lot
Right.
of their other stuff. So, you know, they're shucking and jiving a little bit. But, you know, there's a place for all of it. And I like ours. I like ours just personally because we talk about, like, not all the negative stuff. I think there's enough media members that just like bash this. We say we love this thing, and then everyone just like bashes it. I've never seen anything so like that.
You're
Like,
describing Dakota, but
bro, just talking shit all the time, and I'm just like, okay, well, what about all the good stuff going on? So I like being on that side of it.
Right. Yeah, dude. And then I feel like every episode y'all give it a little different insight or like a different point of view. And I'm not even like hopping on the Kevin train, but Kevin will be like, actually, I liked it. And you're like, wait, what? And then he gives you an explanation where you're like, I hadn't thought of it that
what are you
way.
talking about, dude? You think
Yeah.
Kevin Harvick's like a superhero? You've been on the
Okay,
Kevin train
I'm
Yeah,
trying not
for years and years.
A long time. Because
Yeah,
me and him have talked about it.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is last year I went to a Kevin meet and greet at the Daytona 500,
Oh, yeah, I
and it was impromptu, and I got to like get up there and meet him or whatever and get autograph and picture, and I got up there and I was like, oh shit, it's Kevin, and I got there like, hey man, and I totally was like, I'm gonna tell him I was that guy that baby was born at his win, like maybe he'll remember, I don't know, and I got up there and I was like, hey. And I totally like choked. I was totally just like, hey man, thanks, big fan. And I didn't say anything to him.
You should have told him because I know he would have remembered because I sent that to him.
Well, I was like, I was literally like, if I ever get to meet him again, I'm gonna fucking do it.
Dakota doesn't do that with anybody. That's the funny thing. Dakota's like,
I'm very outgoing.
Very outgoing. Aggressively outgoing, in fact.
That's like the only time I've been starstruck.
I will say I did get a little messed up a couple weeks ago in New Hampshire. I'm a big Patriots fan. Right. Yeah. And Matthew Judon was the honorary pace car driver. And so he was on the backstage. He was backstage with me at the same time. And I'm just like, dude, I love this guy. Like what he does for the Patriots. Like I love like I bleed Patriots. And this is like our guy right now. And I was just like, I need to say something to him. Like I just want to. And I'm just like, hey man, like, how'd you come up with your celebration? Like, I just didn't know what to say. And he's like, and he didn't go into very much. It's him and Mark Ingram had like this thing and he came up with that. But like, I just wanted to talk to him because I like him. Like I if I pulled for any one Patriot, it's like that one specifically. So
you're a big time Pats fan?
Yeah, huge Pats fan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, all Boston
Lifelong?
sports. Yeah. All Boston sports. Okay. People thought that I was at New Hampshire Motor Speedway before driver intros. People thought that I was Jaylen Brown. It was a whole thing, bro. It was a problem. I felt bad. I felt bad because literally I'm standing on the back of the stage, right, and everyone's on the ground, so it's probably 4 or 5 feet off the ground. Go Bills! All right, Sean. All right, whatever. All right, and Sean. So I start seeing people like taking pictures and like I'll sign a couple autographs every weekend, but like people that really know who I am. And I was wearing a Garnett jersey. And like someone like waves me over and I'm like, oh man, like I gotta walk down here. So I walk down and I'm 5 foot, like my license is 5'10". I'm not saying I'm 5'10", but that's what it says. And this person's like, I'm a huge Celtics fan, like great job in the finals. And I'm like, yeah, like cool. Then can we take a picture? And like, yeah, for sure. And I'm just like, man, I hate this for you because you're gonna show your friends and that's just not who I am.
Guess who I just met?
Yeah, like that's just not it.
I'm only kind of famous. I'm not really famous.
I'm like within our circle, like some people know me, but like everybody
people know you for sure.
I mean, we're trying. In
the NASCAR world, people know you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Are you doing intros at all the races, or they just kind of ask you to do some, or how's that work?
So I'm contracted through NASCAR to do the NASCAR owned properties. So it's like let's say it's like 24 races.
Okay.
right? Because a lot of NASCAR properties have 2.
Yeah.
So then you got Pocono, Gateway, and Indianapolis that are on their own, right? They're
Okay.
independently owned. And then you got the SMI tracks. So SMI calls me for New Hampshire the last 2 years for sure. And I think that's because they know I'm from there. And one of the GMs is my buddy from back home. So he's always like looking out because it means a lot to me to do those ones.
Yeah.
Did you grow up racing? Like, were you in the industry growing up?
Yeah. So I grew up in Vermont and I started racing go-karts when I was 4.
Right. Okay. So you know people back home.
Yeah. So I mean, like my dad literally we had season tickets to New Hampshire Motor Speedway for like 15 years on like row 50, like the highest row.
I remember you telling that story on the podcast.
Yeah.
And they made another row or something.
Yeah, bro. We were there for years, and like I was still little, so I sat on the cooler. Like that's how I was able to see over everybody. And for whatever reason, like at New Hampshire, everyone stands up for like 15 straight laps. Like they'll just stand up. So we needed to be on the top side. Yeah, we needed to be on the top, and they put a row behind us, and then I couldn't stand up because there was someone behind it. You know what I mean? So then my dad yelled at them, and they gave us a top row.
Your dad was a big fan though with you growing up.
Yeah, my dad worked on my go-kart, worked on my house and legacy car. Like every win, I haven't won a race without him. Which is probably why I haven't won since I moved to North Carolina. So probably got to get him to turn a 9/16 or something. But
I thought everybody from the Northeast was moving to the Carolinas. Did he not get the memo?
He did finally.
Okay.
7 years later, I bought him 2 houses.
Yeah, dude. I thought that's what the move was for everybody up there. So.
It's way better. Like, because we have it's green down in Charlotte. Like, it's still green and mountainous. It's just not like that cold. So we have everything.
Charlotte's a good spot for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Big
fan.
Yeah, I love it every time we go there. I remember we went back to the hotel after the 600 and we were going down streets. We passed a Ferrari dealership. And I was like, where are we? Where the hell are we?
Oh, I think that's probably foreign cars that you guys passed. You came down, you were staying in Charlotte and you still didn't hit me up after?
All right, I'm not trying to bury the people you work for here.
Are we going to talk about Charlotte?
This whole podcast is about Charlotte. I was going to go drive. I drove up for the race and was going to drive home. Well, then all of a sudden.
Night?
Yeah.
After 600 miles?
Just wilding, dude. Wilding. And
Impressive.
All of a sudden, it decides to rain out of fucking nowhere. There was no rain forecasted. Storm comes through. Well, we're watching the track dry before our eyes. There's no more rain on the radar. And I'm like, they're going to go back racing. I was like, they're going to go back racing. We're good here. So I was like, I'm going to stay. I'll figure it out. Rattlesnake had an extra couch on his hotel. So I was like, fuck it. I can stay with you. I'll stay.
Yep.
And then we sat around for 2.5 hours, drank a lot more beer, and then they canceled the race due to humidity, apparently.
Yep. Thank you, Andy.
Dude, and it was we were so fucking mad. We were pissed
because it was so humid.
Yeah, I literally was like, I could be halfway home by now, but we sat around and waited. When they canceled that race, dude, we were living.
Yeah, it was not a happy.
That was a bummer.
That was tough because obviously the Larson deal.
Made it tough. That killed it all too.
Yeah, we've never had rain. Like, I mean, I don't think India's had rain in like I don't know how
years.
Long. Yeah, a long time. So for them to have rain and push it back, that just was a real buzzkill.
And I'm still surprised they got that race in, which was like cool for Indy.
Yeah,
but then like all the Kyle Larson hype just like down the drain. It sucked.
Yeah, I feel really bad for Larson just because I know how much he wanted to do that. And obviously, like until he sped on pit road and basically locked him up, right? Like he probably would have finished top 5. He was running 6th.
Yeah,
like he was probably gonna finish top 5. So, and then Allgaier goes from a lap down, gets his lap back, is running 13th. Like he arguably could have podiumed in Indy and then won the 600. Like,
I would have loved to have seen Larson come in like just with 100 laps left and win the damn race
and win the whole thing.
I think that would have been so pimp.
Yeah. I have gone on record over and over again. I'll do it again here. I think Kyle Larson is the best driver in the world right now. I don't even think it's very close, to be honest.
He is great. It's just something about that Hendricks car's blue that drives me nuts.
Are you talking about in his ability to be able to hop into like different cars and race?
Yeah, I mean that. I think that's a big part of it, but it's not just race. It's like because a lot of people can like the good drivers can do that, but Kyle can do it at a high level very quickly.
And win, yeah.
He's
Dude, what he was like
competitive.
He was like top 10 the whole race at the 500,
The whole
and
time.
then when he sped on pit road, it was like no.
Yeah, and something was gonna happen, and unfortunately for him, everything happened on that day. But like he's like people want to because people talk about F1 versus NASCAR, and like that's the big like back and forth, right? With the drivers, them coming over and driving our stuff is so like I have so much respect for those guys, and really everybody in every form of racing. If you're great, you're great. But like driving our cars, our guys get so disrespected because you're trying to hit the same point every lap. Like every 30 seconds, you're trying to hit the same points as you're losing grip, as you're getting tired, as you're getting hot, as the car's getting hot. Like you're really doing the precision driving, and they don't get enough credit for that. So, you know.
Yeah, you don't really see them coming over here to do.
You've never seen it. You've never seen. I've never seen anyone do. And this is IndyCar, not F1, right? Obviously, but I've never seen an Indy driver come do 600. You know what I mean? Do it backwards because I'd love to see Scotty McLaughlin do it, but I don't think he.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool. Like if someone's like, "Hey, I'll put up." Like if Denny was like, "I'll put a car up for anybody that wants to do it" or something. I know there's more to it than that, but it's like it would be cool if there was some sort of deal made where a driver could try it.
Yeah, I agree. I think those guys are good. They get the IndyCar guys really get poo-pooed on. I feel like because they look like F1 cars,
right?
Kind of, right. So I think like your casual fan is like, oh, you know, if you didn't make it in F1, you went
F1
IndyCar.
light, yeah.
And I'm like,
it's like F1 for guys that drink beer.
That's the minor leagues, yeah.
And they kind of they don't get enough credit. Them boys are good.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, with that new asphalt at Iowa, them boys are going to be going Mach 12.
Dude,
those Indy cars.
Yeah, they always put on a good race there too. I always love. I mean, I'm not a traditionalist Indy guy, but like I love when they race ovals. It's always like neat seeing them get a run and just like instead of it taking a whole lap, they just do it in like 2 seconds.
It's technically how it started.
It's just kind of. They're just kind of. I mean, they're fighter pilots. Like they're just. It's just dangerous because they're going so fast. Like,
right.
I'm good on that. I think.
But shit, dude, we had a race in Nashville this past
week.
We
did? Oh,
yeah.
I thought we were just talking about old life.
We can.
But,
I don't care.
Hey, you were there in Nashville, man. Did you get rowdy? Did you go down the boulevard?
What's up? What's up with Nashville?
Bro.
Was it hot?
I melted. I was a little chocolate spot on pit road, man. I was melted. It was hot. It was so hot. But I did go out, what was it, Friday night? Saturday. So we did the Trackside Chronicles Fueled by Sunoco. That'll come out in a week or two on NASCAR's channel. So we did like a follow vlog. We went to Vandy. We went to Rustler's Hat Company, got a custom hat made. Then obviously the race, and I was doing stuff with Ally all weekend. So, excuse me. Was really fun. Had a good time. It was really hot. But there was a lot of people out there. So
Stafford.
Fighter. I mean, Sean, you should probably tell that to someone's face. If you think
to be fair, Sean does refuel fighter jets.
Does he? Okay, fair. Yeah. Then he knows.
He actually does do that. Yeah.
I digress. Sean,
he lives in Goldsboro, North Carolina. If you know anything about the Air Force bases in North Carolina.
Oh, that's tight.
It's not a good town, but that's
no, what he does is cool. It is not the town.
It's a great point. What he does is very cool. Yeah.
Dude, I remember.
Sorry, go on.
I remember when we went to the inaugural Nashville race in 21, and it was so freaking hot out there, and the track just I don't know if this is a city ordinance thing or the track property itself, but they don't let you bring coolers into the grandstands. And
do they not?
I don't know about like public safety or like 100-degree temperatures, but it's not cool. So I remember I remember they called me earlier in the spring to renew my Nashville, or they keep asking if I want to come back, and I said, oh yeah, I said, can I bring my cooler into the track? And the lady was like, I'm not really too sure if that rule's changed or not. I said, all right, well, when you find out, you let me know and I'll buy a ticket.
Me and Bowman were talking about that. I guess there is some county thing with events, and I'm just like, bro, that's crazy because like it's hot. Like even if you're not drinking beer or anything, you deserve to have as much water.
I can't even bring in Gatorade.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy.
it was, bro. I'm telling y'all, boy, it was hot out there. It was smoke show hot.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's. I get if it's some sort of law, but it's like I'm surprised to see the grandstands full they were. Or I'm also like this race shouldn't be in June, and or it shouldn't be in the middle of the day. Like maybe a night race would suffice.
Yeah. So here's the thing about I miss night races. If you guys, I know you guys remember, we used to have like what was it, 5, 6
iconic night races. Every Richmond race was at night.
Richmond had 2, Bristol had 1. On Saturday, these were Saturday night races. I feel like there was more, but I just can't remember right now. But I guess because of the TV, I guess because the numbers aren't as good is a big part of it, and I get that.
Yeah,
right?
It's a business at the end of
it's
the
a
day.
Business, and we're going up against a lot of stuff on prime time Saturday night. But I feel bad for the teams when they have a Sunday night race, and then you have to get all the way back home
and go to work in the morning.
Go to work at Monday, like that's tough. So I wish we could figure that out because I do miss Saturday night races. I thought
I did too,
special.
man. Yes. We always talk on here is like I want a Saturday night race. It's like Saturday Night Lights, like, and then you get the only thing paying for all this is we need the numbers on TV, but it's like I think a lot of your fan base wants to go to a race on a Saturday night. And
I just take a shower, dude. I don't want to ruin this
because they're off work on Sunday. Typically, the majority of people are probably off on Sunday.
Yeah,
it's like guess what we all have to do on Monday. The majority of us is go to work.
Right.
It's like I want to sit Saturday night at the house, drink some beers, grill out, and put the race on.
Have the boys boys over. Like I don't know, man. I do miss that. I obviously 100% understand why, because the numbers for NASCAR on TV has been over the last 2-3 years just been going up. Like it's not been going down. So like I get it. It's trending. We're trending in the right way. So I completely get why you want to keep that captivated audience. I just wish that maybe 2 races we were just like, you know what, we might lose some audience, but we're gonna give these guys because they don't get a day off anymore. Like that's kind of part of it, right? When you did a Saturday night race, you had a day off with your family on Sunday, and you could
how nice would that be?
It just, it's tough. It's a tough spot to be in.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I miss them days. I miss a lot of the old days. But then I have more and more people all the time coming up to me like, "Hey, you're the NASCAR dude. I watched that race the other day." Or like, I caught a bit of it on
the
TV.
Opposite. Late night Sunday night. Interesting.
What I mean, I don't know why, but I would tell you that we have a couple of night races on Sunday. Like there are Sunday night races.
I think it probably does pretty good for ratings, I would imagine, honestly, but it just sucks for the fans that have to show up. So
fans and teams. It's
all good until there's 5 green white checkers.
Yeah, right. Okay, so let's talk about this. Actually, let's just dive into.
I guess we'll jump into the race.
Yeah,
you've been trying to for 20 minutes.
We're getting it. We talked about it, man. It just flies by, and because of that, I'm grabbing another beer. Go ahead, Matt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess should we recap the race or just jump right into the whole topic of?
Let's do a short recap and then we'll get to the cautions. I feel like that's fair.
Okay, you were there. Do you want to give us a little rundown of the race from your point of view?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, I was running around doing a lot of different things, but they fired off and it seemed like the Toyotas really had it covered. I think at one point, I don't know what stage it was exactly, but there was like 7 Toyotas in the top 10 and then like 4 in the top 5. Right. And it was like, ooh, and Bell was kind of leading them and it was like, they're about to have a day. And
especially
Bell's been so hot right now.
So hot right now.
And then the rain comes and it's like the race, it was like we got a second race after that. Like things changed so fast. Is that a baby? I love that.
Is that
whose baby? Is that your child?
Let me go check on that.
That's a little snake.
Speaking of rain, what is going on with all these freaking races? Like every fucking week, we are getting rain.
You know, last year I talked to Pockers about this. Last year, I think 11 cup races got affected by rain. So me and Kevin made a bet on if the over or under. Right now, I'm trending towards winning the bet.
Hell, you're already there.
I took the over. Yeah, I took the over. I think we're at like 8. Yeah, I think we're at like 8. So,
but even like my friends at work that half-ass watch, or just I let them know when like the good tracks or good races are coming. Like, hey, you should watch this Talladega race. But they've been like, dude, I was watching a race the other day and I was trying to watch it and it freaking rained again. And they're like, what, is it rained at every race? I was like, dude, summertime. It's the South. I don't know what to tell you, but then New Hampshire it rained too, I guess. But it's
yeah.
like, if you want rain at your house, bring NASCAR to town. That's all I can tell you.
If you need rain, just make a NASCAR race in your backyard. We'll bring the rain, man. It's tough, but yeah, the rain came, and then everyone got a break, and then the rain disappeared real quick, and
I was surprised it was blue skies
weird.
right after it.
I will tell you, Mother Nature, yeah. So I will tell you, like, let's say it's on the screen, right? Let's say my screen is the radar. The rain deal was like that. It was like this. It was like a line, right?
Yeah.
So it wasn't like very
the whole
wide. Yeah.
As long as we just get a little thunderstorm and can race after, it is what it is. And I commend NASCAR because so many races I went to growing up, they were like, "Yes, you're fucked. Go home. Sorry about your luck."
Well, the thing was, we didn't hit halfway either.
Yes, thank goodness.
Which was nice.
I feel like NASCAR the last couple of years has been more adamant about like, we're gonna try to finish this race, unless it was the Coke 600 at midnight. But I feel like they've been doing a lot better than they used to back in the day. Back in the day, I just feel like they're like, "Yep, we got your money, go home."
I think we used to take 4 hours to dry a track, and now it takes under 2 with the Air Titans.
Right.
And now we got rain tires for everywhere under a mile and under, right? So that's gonna give us, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 tracks that we can race when it's wet. So those things, that's nice.
And it's almost just like New Hampshire too. This race, like you were saying, it was 2 races in itself. Is like the race was all right before the rain. Like it was Nashville. I thought it was gonna be a little more slick, slipping and sliding, but then all of a sudden the rain came and the race just completely imploded. And like everybody started racing different, or they were racing different right before it came. But once Christopher Bell, some guys had strategy, 2 tires, this and that. When Seabell wrecked, I was like, oh my God, like the fastest car just wrecked. What's going on here? And it was like you pulled a pin out of the grenade, threw it in the bucket. Like the whole race flipped. And man, it was crazy just seeing guys like go for it. I was literally like, wow, Ross is gonna just totally get this. Denny's coming with tires late. That racing right there was so good, watching Denny run him down. And I thought there was going to be a little more controversy, but Ross kind of lost it into one, and Denny went on by. And you're like, Denny, well, you know, they raced.
Did Ross lose it, or did Larson miss the bottom, catch apron, and then?
Well, I'm getting there.
I think that's what happened.
I know. I was talking about when they
I'm
were
with
racing,
Mamba on this, by the way.
I was talking about when they were racing just Denny and Ross, with 8 to go. With 8 to go.
Copy.
And then Denny's cruising with 2 to go, coming around to the white, and they just flipped to Austin Cindric, putting it backwards into 3. And you're like, holy shit! Like, oh my God! Well, we didn't know we were going to see another hour of racing at this point. But you're like, whoa, dude! I already knew they were close on fuel, and then you had the Ross, Denny, Kyle Larson. Like, what's going to go on here? We got Kyle versus Denny here. This has been getting spicy lately, and Kyle's talking shit on the radio like, oh, I'll dump him. And you're like, they're feeding into it on TV. And you see Kyle just like sail it in there way past his throttle. Like he just hits the apron, collects Ross, and you saw it like, dude, Ross did nothing wrong for once.
Yeah.
For once, Ross wasn't doing anything wrong. What was your version of it, Mamba?
Yeah, no, you see the sparks fly off the left front when he gets down in there. And I don't know. I really think that Larson. I'm not gonna say he heard the chatter, but like there was a lot of chatter after New Hampshire. Yeah, and like Denny running him the way he does, because I really do think Denny bullies him. I think he bullies him like a little cousin. Like Kyle's a better race car driver. When this thing is all said and done, Kyle will be ranked higher than Denny Hamlin, and I think Denny low-key knows that, and he also. It's like, all right, I'm going to bully you, because I said this on the podcast this week. The way Kyle Larson races, he puts you in a bad spot to make a mistake. And
he does that a lot to people.
He does it a lot.
Get talked about enough. Like,
he does it a lot.
But it's racing.
But it's fine. It's fine, because he doesn't really hit anybody to do it. He just puts you in a bad spot that you get mad about.
You're going to lift or you're going to hit the wall.
Correct. And Denny takes it one step forward and has become, I feel like, Kyle's kryptonite a little bit.
Ooh,
Denny
I
will
like that.
actually run it. Denny actually runs into him. Whereas
Yeah.
Kyle's like, yeah, I'm gonna put you here, and then you have two decisions to make. Denny's like, nope, I'm gonna hit you and put you there, and you have no decision to make. Like you're just along for the ride. You know what I mean? It's a little different mentality.
What I don't get is they've been like, is it a rivalry? I don't know. Is it a rivalry? It's like they should lean full hill into this. Dale versus Jeff, Denny versus Kyle. Like they should market this and get out and just talk mad shit and be like, yeah, I meant to hit him. Or like, what's he gonna do about it? And the media would blow up with this.
Larson won't do it though.
No, but I just feel like it would be so good for the sport.
The problem is like Denny loves the entertainment. Like he understands the entertainment part. Kyle's just like, I drive race cars.
I just want to win,
and
dude.
If you think you're better than me, then cool, you are. But yeah, Larson says it's not a rivalry. Denny says it is. Look, it's a rivalry.
Yeah.
And the problem is
We need to make t-shirts.
low key, bro, low key. If you turn Larson into that guy,
Yeah.
you don't want Larson.
You're poking a demon here.
Bro,
like
you don't. If he gets into a mentality of like he's
Okay.
already the guy,
yeah.
and now he's got to like prove to you that he's the guy, you don't want him wanting to prove to you that he's the guy.
I feel like it's almost like at least this last week we saw Kyle kind of react somewhat, and I feel like it's showing it's maybe getting under his skin, or maybe like you're poking the bear here. Like Kyle's not even trying to go for. He was more focused on getting to Denny's bumper than caring about the win. Like Kyle could have easily probably won this race he was.
When you do things out of character, you make mistakes.
That's the thing.
His character isn't to go off in there and use the bumper like that, but he did, and like he missed his entry doing it.
Yeah.
And honestly, if he didn't hit Ross, I think Denny hits Ross, because I think that those two guys were kind of
or at least they
connected.
washed up.
I think the three of them wash up, and then there's somebody else coming to the inside. So it's getting fun, man. It's starting to percolate. The playoffs are here. We're starting to percolate.
The summer stretch is here. We're winding down to the playoffs, and it's like this time of year, even though the season's been stellar so far, it's this time of year when NBC switches, and it's like everybody just loses their minds for a minute, getting frantic for the playoffs, and the races get nuts. Yeah, pressure. That's a great way to put it. Like
Rattlesnake, let me ask you this.
What
you this. I'll ask both of you. How do you like the playoff system?
That's a interesting question. Dakota is very opinionated on this. I think it's flawed, but I'm okay with working with it.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. Like, and we've talked about this a lot on the podcast about, just maybe some tweaks that you could make through trial and error. But I think overall, I don't mind the playoffs. Like,
right.
I think it does add excitement.
Right.
I think the system could use some tweaking, use some work. I think the playoffs is great. I think it's one of the best things that ever happened to NASCAR.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it could be modified a little. I'm okay with a one race finale. I'm okay with 4 enter, 1 leaves. Bring best man goes home, but it also leaves you up to like, the best car wrecked and he didn't win the championship, or he didn't make the Final Four. I'm also open to like a 3-round finale. I think I really do love win and transfer. The one problem I have with the playoffs is that your points roll over. Like you start the round with first, like when you go to the second round, your points reset based on your original points. And I think that's kind of BS. I think you should start the first round of your playoffs with your regular season standings, and what you do from that point on is the points you accumulate.
I thought that's how that worked.
No, so when the second round starts, they reset the points back with your original season points and the points you got in the first round. So like whoever had 5 wins goes back. Like if they had 5 wins,
okay,
3, they go back to first in points.
Okay,
if they transfer.
So if I was to guess, if I was to speculate, that is because the purists of us, race fan, NASCAR fans, want a season long.
Yes.
So that's how you get your season long. Your season long matters even into the playoffs.
For sure.
Because it's a balance. And that's the thing. It's a balance. Because personally, I think the best playoff system in all of sports is March Madness. which is you just got to get hot. And if you get hot at the right time, and some people make mistakes, you can make it. You can be Butler from Indiana and be in the Final Four. Like that's why I love it, because what that means for that
Hell,
group,
the last 2 years, like no shade to Blaney, but he got hot at the right time. Kind of just made it in the playoffs. Took off in the playoffs after a win, racked off 3 wins. Boom, 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 boom. Wins championship, and it's like, hey, that's everybody's playing by the same rules. You just got to be the guy to do it.
But I think people don't like that also. I think that's kind of the problem, is because people look at that and go, yeah, but Blaney shouldn't have been the champion. Like, look at the season. Look at the whole season. He wasn't the best driver. And I think that's where a lot of the
I'm okay with it.
Me too, because I'm a Patriots fan, and we should have won 19, 18-0, and we went 17-1 or whatever it was. Like, shit happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's sports. So, like, if you can't, I like the pressure, because if you can't be great on the biggest stage.
I watched Jeff Gordon win the championship with like 3 races left.
Did you love that? Did you love that?
No. Like, why did we go to the next 3 races?
In this day and age,
that if people wouldn't turn the TV on.
People would go, the sponsors would lose their minds, because no one would watch. What are we watching for? Yeah. I never want to see that again. And if I gotta die on this hill just to never see that again, I 100%.
That's everybody that bitches about the playoffs. I'm like, you clearly weren't here. 20 years ago.
You
like,
didn't
you didn't suffer back in the day. Like, oh yeah, and he gets awarded the trophy. Now we're going to race next week for some reason.
Dude, I remember when Kevin Harvick won the driver championship in Xfinity in Charlotte. Charlotte. That was in October.
Yeah,
what?
It's a wrap.
That's crazy. Like, that's not fun.
I do think one thing that they could improve on is the importance of the regular season champion.
I agree.
I think that should be like a first round bye even.
Okay, let's say Georgia wins the SEC championship, and then they go on and they don't win the national championship, right? Hard to believe, I know. But let's say that happens, right? They're still going to hang the banner for the SEC championship. Like, that's still a huge fucking deal. They're still, like, really fucking proud of that SEC championship.
Yep.
Now, if the national championship's way more important, but if you don't get that, you have that SEC championship. I just think that would be cool if, like, NASCAR really put an emphasis on, like, hey, we're doing it the old point system way throughout the regular season. This was the best driver. Now the playoffs start.
I agree.
That year Martin Truex won, that when they wrecked him at Daytona, and they were like, congratulations. He was like, yeah, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, he didn't give 2 shits.
I 1000% agree. I would go as far to say I'd struggle with this a little bit in my mind with what I would rather, but our stats are wins, top 10 or top 5s, top 10s. So if we have a Final Four right now, I have no problem making that just Final 5 and sending the regular season champion all the way to Phoenix.
That would make it even more.
I really don't. Right. That makes it the utmost. You want to go to the championship
and go straight to the final round
because
that'd be huge.
You still have to perform throughout the playoffs,
and then they have 10 weeks to work on Phoenix.
Well, you have 10 weeks to work on Phoenix, but you have 10 weeks to mess up Phoenix too.
Yeah.
Right. Like if say the pit crew starts messing up, say your car's not as fast, and you start losing yourself, right?
Yeah.
Like there's almost more pressure on you as a guy that's going all the way to the final round to be good in the final round.
Yeah, like you better be good. You had all this time.
But also that would be a good way to add importance on the regular season champion. That's like the icing on the cake. It's just like, hey, this is why
I'm open to it.
This is why it's a big deal. This is why people compete for it hard. I think that would help.
I know we can't call it the Winston Cup Championship, but you could. I wish we could call it. This is your Winston Cup champ. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
It's like this is your like I don't know what the word would be, but heritage maybe historical. You know what I mean? To where you have that, and then this is like the champion.
Where the legacy fans are happy,
Legacy champion. This is your legacy champion. This is like the champion. I think
that's pretty fire. And it kills me when people you see on like Twitter and stuff. People be like, if we were running the Winston Cup points, this would be your point.
There's a whole Twitter account for that.
And it's like, yo, dude, that was like 20 years ago.
I think Chase Elliott is in the lead right now for Winston Cup points. I'm
like
Chase Elliott's not the best driver right now.
I'm just saying, like, what other sport are we doing? Like, well, if they did the rules in '79, actually.
Right.
And it's like, dude, come on. Like, we're far along here. We don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah. So we didn't really finish Nashville.
No, let's jump right into the green-white checker debate.
Yeah, let's get to that part. Let's get to
I will start with saying it got a little chaotic. I think it went too long. And I'm also fucking here for it. I'm okay with it. I think I was having so much fun watching. I was like, yo, fucking Corey LaJoie's in second, Zane Smith's in third. What is going on? And I was literally like, Ryan Preece, where the hell did he come from? And it was literally like, what are we doing? But I was also like, let's go, boys. This is the playoffs. This is who's gonna win. It had me shook.
Look, man, here's the thing. I saw somebody on Twitter today was like, this was a problem because of safety. Brother, you're worried about them running out of gas coming to green? I'm worried about them hitting the wall at 185. Like we're not the same, obviously. Like this is it is a dangerous sport. Period. Right. Point blank. Right.
Yeah.
So
that's part of the reason we all like it. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's it. That's part of the deal, right? So okay, misremember that part. I was sitting down on pit road and I was talking to Chris Gallia, and I was like, "Hey man, I hope they all run out of gas." He's like, "What?" I'm like, I hope, look, because you're looking at the graphic. There's like 7 of them that were like gray, empty, basically, is what it said. I said, I hope all 7 of those jokers get 1 lap in, because I hope they get the white flag, and then they all run out of gas.
That would have been awesome.
And let's just see who makes it through.
And here comes Todd Gilliland.
I am not a fan of that. I'm personally not a fan. I'm not trying to complain because there's nothing else you could do, right? I'm not like, oh, there's a problem that needs fixing. Like, it just, at a certain point, I was like, okay, can we just like finish this goddamn?
But it's the driver's fault.
Yeah, right. And there's nothing you can do. Yeah,
I'm a master component of the race needs to finish under green. The race finish under green. That's all I want.
I saw somebody what show was it where they were like, it should end at the lap total.
Me and Kevin talked about it. Kevin asked me. I don't know if you saw that.
Okay, is that where
Kevin? It might have been. I'm not sure because truthfully, I don't watch.
They blend together.
Yeah. Kevin asked me if I thought that it should end on the show on like the scheduled time. I'm like, no, because the fans deserve a true cinematic finish in that bit of where you're just sweating it out. Because Logano could have ran out of gas anywhere between turn 4 and the start finish line, and he loses.
Right.
If he runs out of gas 1 car length before the start finish line, he probably loses the race. Like that you can't manufacture that drama.
But my issue with it is
finish out of it.
My issue is I hate that people will lose a race just because of like other drivers behind them making stupid mistakes and fuel having to become an issue later on.
That's strategy.
That's not really strategy. That's not something that you strategize for.
No, is that racing though? Is that racing though? This is sports.
I gotta agree.
You know what makes me mad? I get mad when my kicker misses an extra point. But you know what? Sometimes you do, and then you lose it by 1 point.
Yeah, like I'm not saying there's anything you can change about this. I'm just saying it would have made the race a little bit less. Like when we rate this rating, I would have probably dropped it because I would have been like, this kind of sucks because the driver that won only won because of fuel. Like,
yeah, but
I'm not the only one that thinks this. I'm pretty sure most people watching
they had enough fuel.
Justin Haley won a race because of rain. Michael McDowell.
Yeah, and people aren't happy about that stuff.
Okay, fair.
I'm not like making this up out of.
That's a good point. But it's not unprecedented. It is what it is. That's why we have rain tires now.
There's nothing you can do about it.
Okay, question. This is a good point because you're on one side of this now. Are you against rain tires then?
No, definitely for rain tires.
Okay, so why are you against what happened in Nashville but for rain tires? Because
I'm not against what happened in Nashville. I'm just saying, like, if I'm saying like, man, that was a great race, I like to just see the race play out under a green flag, see the strategy play out. And then the more times there's cautions that come up and then there's rain, I'm just kind of like, all right, guys, let's just
I
like,
appreciate giving me my finish. Give me
I
my
definitely
finish.
appreciate that. I'm happy that happened.
I don't care if they did
100%.
20.
I'm just saying, like, Joey Logano winning, I think also was kind of funny because that pissed a lot of people off. So
Also,
that was
Ryan,
a good thing.
Also, my boy in the 12 went from running like 30th to finishing 6th, so I was cool with it.
Yeah, it definitely shook up. Like, if you were watching that race with 2 to go and you're like, oh, I don't want to watch Denny win, you really fucked up.
Yeah,
You
that's
really
true.
fucked
That's a good
up.
point. That's a really good point.
All right, Snake, if you didn't want unlimited green white checkers, what would be your resolution?
See, that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't want to. I don't know if I want to go down this road.
Don't do it. Don't do it,
Yeah.
Snake. Because what happens is I'm gonna sit here and be like, okay, ARCA rules at Super Speedway where it's 1 lap, and then you're gonna be like, because everyone hates that.
Yeah.
Go back to 3. No, because Dalton, here's the problem. On the 3rd one, someone will just wreck somebody on purpose, and the field is.
Oh, you had a teammate wreck a guy so his teammate could win or something.
I can totally see these points. I think I'm good with unlimited, but just let me complain about it.
Yeah, you can complain. Okay,
fair
cool.
enough.
I think that's where I stand.
Dakota, what are we even talking about then? He just wants to complain. Go ahead.
Exactly.
This is what I deal with a lot.
Get it off your chest. Get it off your chest, my man.
Thank
That's
you.
cool. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, but Joey got it done. He's in the playoffs. I think we kind of knew that team was going to win eventually. I think they were feeling the heat from the 12 and 22 already being locked in.
Hilarious because people pissed about this are super pissed now about Joey winning, especially this way.
I'm okay with it, man. I love Joey.
I think it's hilarious.
2-time champions.
Well, listen. Crazy thing about this whole thing, right? If the 12 doesn't run out of gas, the 2's not in, and he probably ain't getting in.
No, probably.
Right. That's kind of crazy. The 12 arguably could have won
for
3
sure.
of the could have won 3 of the last 4.
They've been hot right now, right along with the 20.
Mm-hmm.
Them 2 teams have speed.
20 is different. 12 is like they're like doing their thing. They look like a championship team.
I agree.
They have that championship pedigree. It looks like that. 20 is just raw. 20 is raw. And then 5.
I love it.
Then 5 is like 5 has everything that you think is a champion. Like 5 feels like the champion.
He's fast on a bad day.
Can we talk about the 17 for a second? Talk about guys that could have been there. Dude, the 2 times.
Oh, with Darlington and Kansas.
That Busher honestly should have won.
Yeah, he could have 2
in the playoffs.
Which I want to see them get their speed back. They've kind of
I really want to see him. I'd feel bad if he didn't make it at this point.
I'm gonna tell you what. There's a old boy that you guys should start looking at driving that 51 car.
Dude,
Justin Haley. I'm telling you,
fucking badass. He is giving that 51 car hell, bro.
Yeah,
Snake. I'm telling you, Chicago. This is the one, bro.
Oh,
if he's gonna make it, this is
I could see him being fast as shit there. He was fast last year.
I call dibs. Underdog pick dibs.
If I was betting, I don't bet, but everyone listening right now, if I was a betting person, I would bet on the 51 at Chicago.
Okay.
I just would
let's see what the odds.
He's got that dog in him.
He got that
Justin
dog
Haley,
in him.
man. He's a little underrated road course racer, and he's a damn good super speedway racer, but he's always like just right there, ready to strike on road courses.
Do you guys do some betting stuff, right? You guys bet?
Yeah, I dabble.
I've pulled back.
Yes,
I've pulled back.
No, I've actually gotten carried away. I bet every week.
So you're both degenerates, cool? Because I don't do it, so you can let me know. Is there betting for who is going to make the playoffs or no?
I think there is. I don't know enough to like tell you what it is, but
it depends. So I think Dakota, Georgia is like South Carolina, right?
Yeah, I have to talk to people.
Yeah, so I have to know a guy that I send money to. Okay. So it really depends on kind of what they're offering.
How you get there. Yeah,
North Carolina, it is legal. So I think on those like DraftKings and those other ones, they will have just the craziest stuff.
That's one of the most intriguing bets that you can do. So like at the beginning of the year, who do you think is gonna make the playoff?
Yeah.
I think that's wild.
Who would you pick? What do you think?
At this point, it's kind of tough. I feel like Bubba's gonna win one to get in.
He's fast
not-
at Michigan.
not a bad pick.
We got Daytona before the playoffs.
Yeah, he's super fast at Michigan. Again, Justin Haley at Chicago is really just like in my craw, man. I just feel like he's gonna do that. Now I do feel like you got 45 on your hat. He has some redemption because he drove it straight into the fence there when he had a chance to win the race.
Yeah,
Did
man.
you know Dakota? Did you know Dakota's a Reddick fan now?
Why? I mean, he's wearing his hat, so
somebody had to catch the baton, man.
Yeah, he's decided. He's made the transition.
I've never rooted for a Toyota before.
Beautiful.
It's been weird.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, Reddick. I like Reddick. He's got a wedding coming up. I'm excited to get shit faced at it. It's gonna be so much fun. But yeah, hang out with.
Oh, he's talking about the.
Oh wow, we had a whole debate.
Here we go.
Y'all are opening a can of worms.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a waste. I'm not gonna say it's a wasted spot because that's why I would tell you that Butler basketball is a wasted spot, but they made a run. You know what I mean? That's why I love the playoffs is because
exactly
right when you think it is stupid, Ryan Newman doesn't win a race and somehow makes it all the way to the Final Four and comes this close to beating my Kevin Harvick 2014 championship team, which I got a ring for.
Yeah, I was
the reason that college football playoffs is scrambling to try to make it more entertaining, and the reason that March Madness has never had to do that because it's incredible is because they have the Cinderella stories. They have enough teams that get in that you can have Cinderellas. The college football is only 4. There's no Cinderellas in 4. No. So with NASCAR, this is what me and Dakota, our friends in the comments, they were giving us a hard time, but we don't believe in wasted playoff spots. We think if you win and you're in, that's how it should be.
You deserve it.
You deserved it, and let's see what happens.
Here's the other thing that people need to remember with NASCAR. When you make it into the playoffs, yeah, I agree. I feel bad for KB as well.
It's bad. It's bad over there.
It's tough.
It is bad over there, bro. I
wore this in memory.
I don't even know where I was going with that, but Kyle Busch, I feel for, and I want him to.
The thing is, I can see him just plugging in a win sometime.
Well, he could. Here's the crazy thing about Kyle Busch. He's like 18th in points, which means even with the terrible year he's had, if you take 4 terrible finishes away, he's in the playoffs on points right now. Right. That's crazy. Yeah.
I think
that means he's been actually really solid.
How many times was he 5th? And then just boom, shit luck, it finishes 35th.
He had a better early start to the year also. He's been dropping a lot the past month, I want to say. He's had real bad luck. So
we want to see him turn it around, man.
The past month he had Sonoma was running 6, got run over by Ross. Then the next week at Iowa,
Well, he was running top 10 when him and Larson wrecked at Gateway.
At Gateway, he was running top 10, and then there's somewhere else that he had multiple in a row where he was running and then it got a really bad finish. So you put the 8 where he's running.
New Hampshire he wrecked 3 times.
And still had a shot at having a decent finish.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Exactly.
So
I think a lot of the blame needs to be laid on the feet of RCR though.
I don't think it's the driver. I don't think it's the driver.
Yeah, I think Kyle Busch is proven to be a pretty decent race car driver.
I think you're going to see, and I don't know this for nothing, right? But I think you're going to see the Tom Brady effect with Kyle Busch at RCR over the next year, where Tom Brady went to Tampa.
I hope so.
And then he's like, nope, this needs to be this. This needs to be this.
I really hope so.
And I think you'll see that organization kind of come up over in the next 12 months.
I'm here for it. I'd love to see that.
I think it's different when Kyle Busch was at Hendrick, when he was at JGR, he didn't have to be the leader.
He didn't have to make decisions.
He just had to drive the race car and be Kyle Busch.
Good point.
Right.
But now I think he knows if they're going to be good, he's got to be more of a leader. And I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Especially now that he's more of a veteran, right, in the sport, which is crazy.
And a dad, those things matter.
Dude, isn't it weird that how who the oldest drivers are left now? Truex is gone, right? Denny's still there, but it's just such a young field.
Boys, I hate to say this to you, but I'm running out of drink, so
go get
we're hitting our time limit anyway. So
we are? Okay.
Well,
or do you need to get another one?
Were you gonna re-up?
Well, no, I don't. I can't re-up.
Okay.
It's a mixed drink, so I'd have to it's gonna take time.
All right, that's cool, man. You can dip out.
We can just wrap the show. It doesn't matter.
Are you sure? I don't want to just end up having fun, but
No.
Yeah, no, we'll end it and we'll shoot shit with you for a minute and then let you go.
Yeah.
Who gives a
Yeah.
shit? We're at our hour mark anyway, man. We've just been shooting the shit with you.
So just
We'll put a ribbon on Nashville race rating real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Race rating. Dakota, what are you giving it?
I wrote it down way before we started the show. I gave it a 7-8.
Ooh.
Nashville, you're giving a 7-8.
Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna give a 6-8.
Ooh.
Okay. I'm gonna give like a 7 before the rain. From the time the rain started to the end, I'm giving it like a 9 too.
Woo! Look at
Multiple
come
reasons.
on.
No, listen, no, because we stayed with it. The fans stayed with it. Like we got the whole thing in, and there was so much drama through at the end. Like
Okay.
it was like that portion of the race was really, really entertaining.
Hey,
That's fair.
you going to the race this weekend?
Am I going to the race this weekend?
I
Chicago.
I guess you like Chicago.
Shy, baby. I'm excited. It's gonna be a good time.
Heck yeah, man. That's the 4th of July weekend. It's a little different than the past of my traditional Daytona weekend, but the show goes on. Street racing.
Well,
man.
not
We'll
for
see
us.
what
We're gonna be
happens.
taking an off week, right?
Yeah, off week on the episode.
It doesn't go on.
Be cooking out, swimming all weekend. We'll be
Mhm.
looking out for Mamba on the TV. As always, man, it was great having you on the show.
Thank you guys.
Keep doing your thing. We're going to see you at some races, hopefully, eventually.
Yeah, if
And,
you call.
Plugs, shout
all right.
outs, all that stuff.
We'll work on the communication a little better.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll let the outro go and we'll holler at you.
Well, what
Cool.
plug? Do you got any plugs? Any like tell people?
Yeah, I'll tell the people. Make sure if you're getting your NASCAR merch, NASCAR.com. And they also got stuff on pitshop.com. A lot of cool stuff. 47 hats. That's the new hat branding. I think probably if it's a new 45 hat, then it's a 47 hat. Yep. Looks really good. Love that.
I've been getting a lot of compliments on this bad boy.
Yeah, the
weird.
47s are clean, dude.
47 brand is fire,
Mhm.
man. So make sure you do that and get your fuel at Sunoco stations wherever you can all over the country.
That's right. Sunoco Race Fuel. Baby.
And make sure you listen to Kevin Harvick talk shit on the Kevin Harvick.
I was waiting for that. I
Happy
was gonna
Hour
fill that
podcast
one in.
on Fox Sports.
Love to see it.
Presented by NASCAR on Fox, and watch the ARCA races on Fox Sports because I might be on there sometimes.
Or on Flow Racing.
Yeah, well, you should do that too, but I care about me. I'm plugging me, not them.
All right, cool, man. Well, thanks for coming by again, man.
Yeah,
I know
we appreciate
you're
it, brother.
staying in but it's always fun when you come on.
No,
so
let's
thanks.
do it. Let's do it again, like playoff time sometime. That'd be cool.
Dude, yeah,
sure.
that'd be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm down.
All right, gang. We'll holler at y'all. Happy 4th of July.
Peace.